Hey everyone, welcome back in. This is Pharaoh with Total Understanding Tarot. We are here with your weekly collective love reading. I hope your weekend was beautiful. Let's tap right into it. Okay, and we're back. Thank you so much for joining in. Once again, this is Pharaoh with Total Understanding Tarot. This is a general love reading for the week. If you would like one specifically tailored to you and your situation and your energy, feel free to check out the description box below and you will find the link, www.TotalUnderstandingTarot.com. That is our official website where you can book readings through us only. Okay, we will not reach out to you for readings. We will not reach out to you for donations or any sort of contact. We rely on you guys to tap into your own desires and wants and then reach out to us. We will not reach out to you. Also, if you would like to follow us over on Instagram, that would be wonderful. We do live tarot readings over there. We call them daily vibes. So check that out at Pharaohs Rise. And yeah, we're ready to get into it. I'm reading with the Game of Thrones deck. Interestingly enough, after I greeted you all, the card that flipped over was the Devil with the Lovers card, and then we have the 10 of Spears here. So a lot of you all are breaking a lot of in addition to being generational trauma and challenges, these are changes within yourself and burdens that you've carried for much too long now. And with that Devil and Lovers card, I'm really feeling it's a stronghold that you are coming up against, some sort of decision of how you operate in the energy of love, be it romantic or platonic. It's like, how do you offer yourself to others? How do you what do you accept from other people? Why do you accept what you accept? It's like you're very you're really analyzing why you do what you do. Why do you allow what you allow? And this new version of you is not going to allow for that old energy to come into it. So that's why that 10 of Spears is out. It's becoming heavier and heavier. The more you're outside of who you have grown to become, the more challenging it is to hold on to the past. The more challenging it is to hold on to people, things, and places that no longer serve you. So we're going to tap right into it. Who's probably not already? Yeah, look, we got the 4 of Wands with the Fool card. So it's going to take a new beginning on your part. Maybe you have to realize, okay, for some of y'all really realizing y'all were in some toxic relationships. Maybe you were hoping someone would leave their partner. Maybe they're married and now you're seeing like they'll never leave. Or maybe you're realizing like, hey, I've been the side person for a long time and da-da-da-da. I'm never going to be first place if I don't put myself first. I'm really feeling like that from somebody. That's like very, very specific, because I do feel like the collective has grown out of that. But if you resonate with that, it's no shame in your journey, and own that, because when you start to embody the energy of shame, that's when you try to cover up things, and covering up a wound only allows it to fester. And you've already come out of such a transformative time and a transformative period. It's time for you to have confidence in your growth and have confidence in who you are. And just because you've been through something doesn't mean that's now who you are, unless you continue to interact with that energy. The moment you decide no and you create consistent behaviors and build healthy habits to step outside of that, you're now taking your power back. And so you don't have to condone that behavior just because you went through something. It's like you understand that that was unhealthy even when you were going through it. So just keep that in mind, and don't be afraid to speak your mind. Okay, let's get out of here. Yo, okay. Woo. All right. I saw the 8 of Coins flip over, then the Ace of Swords, and I just wanted to keep moving, but The divine has given you the truth. The divine has shown you clarity, has given you the answer to what you've been waiting for, and now it's on you to put in the work to bring that manifestation in. This is you practically working on yourself every day, setting healthy habits, setting boundaries that you adhere to. It's not putting the boundary in a place and making exceptions for certain people. Some things are standard, and it's time, if you need to be treated a certain way, spoken to a certain way, given enough notice for certain activities, given enough communication for a partner, or just the I'm hearing some of you all just common courtesy. Perhaps you're having, you've had issues in the past where people have not considered you, and you were an afterthought, and you take responsibility and have seen how you allowed that behavior to continue. Not that it's your fault that it happened, but it is your responsibility to change that. Okay, so that's where you're coming up out of. And yeah, I don't know. Okay, that's right there. And the High Priestess is on the bottom of the deck. So this is something that you've been on, and now it popped up in the top position. So this is something that you've known deep down, but this journey, these challenges that you've overcome, and I'm hearing struggle, because with that 10 of Wands, that's a karmic way of looking at it, as a struggle. And it may have felt that way, but you realize with the 10 of Wands card, this person is literally carrying the wands. So this is something that may have been challenging for you to put down, and I don't take it lightly, the journey that the collective has gone through. But this is a time of victory. This is a time of you standing in your power and using those challenges to help you love yourself more and to show love to yourself more. So that way you're automatically recognizing when it's not being reflected in the people that are coming towards you. Okay, and so we're going to just focus right here on this strength card right here in the center. Like I said, every time I read from this deck, I do give examples from the series, as it is very helpful for the reading. So keep that in mind. There's various spoilers if you have not seen the series. But I would suggest that you watch it, because I personally love it. I think it's great. So here we are with the strength card. That's Leo energy. That's you maybe even gaining control of your passions. Maybe you're seeing that in this place that you found yourself, and the reflection that you've done, you've seen like, hey, I really didn't have too much self-control either. My sexual desires or sexual repression caused a lot of this stuff to happen, right? My need to feel validated caused me to accept a lot of things that were unacceptable. And so and on the bottom we have the 6 of Spears. That's a victory card. Like, this is a lot of fire energy, especially these readings are timeless. Whenever you watch them is the right time for you to watch them, but just keeping in line with the present timeline, we are in Sag season, which is also fire energy. The sage of the fire signs, the wisdom of the zodiac. And so with that wisdom, in order to get that, you have to have the experience of it. So this is the energy of, we saw that Fool card, right? I showed you that Fool card that came out. So you are paving a new ground, and you get the accolades after you do the work, right? So it's just energy of, so many people praise power and praise knowledge and wisdom, specifically wisdom, but what did it take for you to get that wisdom? And so it's just understanding that there's a price to be paid for the amount of power that you wanted, and you're willing to do that in a high vibrational way, in a way that doesn't put others down, in a way that doesn't mistreat others, because we are here to help heal the community, to help the community heal. So coming out of a victorious energy, your strength has been renewed, because you're starting to see yourself in a higher light. Maybe you're starting to see certain victories in love. Maybe you're starting to see, like, oh, back in the past, I would have gave that person a lot more of my time. I really would have went on the second day, a third day, been with this person for a month before, or longer before I said no. Or back in the day, I probably would have said yes to taking on that task and been overwhelmed. But the person that I am today, I said no, and it felt a little strange and a little uncomfortable, but I felt more peace than regret. And so it's just this energy of, you're finding yourself having these, like, what you would consider small wins that are building up to this massive energy, this massive new power that you're getting, this spiritual breakthrough. Ooh, okay, so we have the Ace of Spears with the Two of Swords, and there's still some power that needs to be recognized, because we have the Ace, the cross comes out with the Ace of Spears, which is generally thought of as a gift from the divine. And right here you see the snake on the spear, so I'm getting some sort of Kundalini awakening, the gift of awareness, the gift of being mindful, the gift of using that inner strength, that inner power to allow it to show outwardly, to help shed light on other situations for other people, to help show the path that you have so meticulously, so valiantly carved out. Yeah, there are some things I think maybe family. Maybe you're trying to do some things to build a family for the next generation. You're trying to cleanse your bloodline so that your children will have a better life, or your nieces or your nephews. This is something to do with building a legacy of love, creating a new pattern in your timeline, in your family's timeline, so that future generations will be able to see healthy love relationships displayed, be able to see healthy friendships, be able to see healthy family interactions. And you realize that you're only responsible for you. With Arya Stark here, she had to follow her own path in order to come back to her family to be of service. She actually, during part of this, went blind, right? So she had to trust in her other senses. So this is really leading us into the faith walk. There's perhaps you felt like you were in the dark for a lot of this journey, and you may have felt like it wasn't fair. But here she's holding, as I acknowledged before, that these are two different swords here. Needle was a gift. This is an actual sword that was given to her, and this is a sparring sword. So it's like, now do you make a decision? You're always a student learning through life, and that's what keeps the leader sharp, and that's what keeps them on top of their game. But at a certain point, it's time to make a decision on, do you want to step into this leadership role with this real sword and actually handle, how do I say this? Actually step into your role as the emperor or the empress, and step into your power, or continue to live in the shadow of who you want to be, continue to think that you're still in training, or continue to think that you still need more, when the divine has given you massive amounts of energy to help energize you, to help give you confidence, so that when you do step into these very practical situations, you're able to garner strength from that. You don't need to cipher off of anyone's energy in terms of needing someone else's approval, needing someone else's validation, needing someone else's permission to be yourself, needing someone else's love to feel whole and complete. You're whole and complete within yourself. And the fact that you can attract a partner or attract a friend circle that honors you is icing on the cake that you've already built and baked yourself. So let's see. We have the Justice with the Six of Cups coming on here. Same thing that happened in our weekend reading. This is definitely some sort of self-love practices that you have been showing yourself in the past. Maybe yeah. Okay. So we have this energy of the Five of Swords with the Two of Spears. That's because you are standing in your power now, that does cause conflict with people who don't benefit from the weak version of you. You know, just put it bluntly, the version of you that wasn't as strong as you are now, the version of you that wasn't as confident as you are now. There's some people who literally benefited off the fact that you did not see your light and you didn't see your greatness. And so now that you are stepping into that, and you're stepping into that power, it's causing some sort of conflict. But you're not allowing yourself to move towards that. You see the bigger picture. You're looking out into the ocean. Your back is to all of this. He said, she said, who do you think you are? Holding your head down, not being confident in who you are. This is the energy of maybe you felt alone, and because the Stark brothers, during this era, when they went to Winterfell, their father had already been murdered. And so this was a lot of upheaval, because there was sort of like grasping on who's going to rule, who's the next in line, and their lives were on the line because they were targets, because they were the next in line. So they really didn't know who to trust. They didn't know where to turn. So their whole life had been turned upside down as a result of this transition that they were going through. So in moving forward, you may experience some transitions. If you don't trust yourself, that's when you'll get this energy all confused. If you trust the energy that you've been through, when you trust that the divine has your back, right? And this is literally their father who was murdered unjustly, and now it's time to bring about justice for that situation with the Chariot. So you will be victorious. If you need it any more other than this victory card, we have the Chariot. So you actually may be moving. 10 of coins. 10 of coins. This is literally everything you've ever wanted, including love and stability. This is a I'm really seeing that they're drawing my attention to the wine here in the fermentation process. Like, there is a process that wine goes through, and the more finer wines have been aged for more time. You can make homemade wine, and in about 3 months you can drink it and it'll be wine if you do it yourself. That's the minimum amount of time, like 3 to 4 months, the minimum amount of time, and you'll have wine. But is it going to be good as something that's aged for 3 years, that's aged for 6 years? Is it going to be as good as that? And the divine was purifying you, as well as refining your skills, refining your emotional intelligence. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Come on, the time is now. So it's like, what do you want to do? It's a lot of choice energy here. The Lover's card with the 2 of Spears. You're moving towards it. We have the 3 of Cups with Temperance. So maybe, okay, even with Sag season, you know Sag gang love to party. We love to have a good time. We love to kick it, but just be mindful of overindulgence at this time. Be mindful of, because you're still in transition. So you don't want the desire to celebrate, which is lovely. The desire to celebrate and to have fun. You don't want that to blend that with covering up what you're feeling. You still want to be able to feel how you're genuinely feeling at this time. You still want to be aware of your emotions, and sometimes too much partying, too much celebration can cause you to become off balance, and you're not really aware of what's happening. So yes, this is a lot of victory energy. Yes, celebrate your success, enjoy times with friends, especially during this season. In the States, this is a time generally a lot of the government holidays and statewide holidays are happening. You're meeting up with friends and family. So just be mindful of that energy. And, certain level of intoxications can make you become a bit more nostalgic, and, reach out to people that you've already healed from, or allow some things that you've already healed from. So just take that as it resonates. I'm really feeling you're strong enough to move through that, because the divine is here with this Temperance card, which is Sag energy. Just still keep your practices as you travel and go to see family, or family comes to see you. Still keep those practices, even if you tone them down. Like, maybe you worked out an hour a day, meditate 30 minutes a day, and do all this. If friends and family come over, maybe you can only get 20 minutes in the gym. Maybe you can only get 15 minutes in meditation in the morning, and get 10 or 15 at night. It's just energy of just still stay with your flow to some degree, so you can still have a hold on these transitional energies that you're moving into. But it's a beautiful thing with this World card. Yeah, it's the end on all of that feeling alone. It's the end on feeling like you have to be overly strong, or overly exerting a lot of energy. There's a lot of partnership coming in for you. There's a lot of help coming in for you. Just continue to spend time with those people who uplift you. Spend time with those people who you genuinely feel when you're around them, and when you speak to them, they genuinely have love for you and they want to see your best. Not who you're supposed to be around or who's supposed to lift you up, but in reality, in this 3D, how do you feel when you're around a person? How do you feel about yourself as you're speaking to them, and how do you feel when they're speaking to you? So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna pull a cord. a card from the Isis Oracle that some of y'all might need to do some cord cutting ceremonies. You'll realize that you still have some karmic ties to certain people, certain energies. And like I told y'all before, black walnut is really great for cutting major energetic ties. So look into that. There are, I'm sure, a lot of recipes online. You just boil the water with the black walnuts in there. So it's a very dark color, and you can add it to your spiritual bath. Some of you all don't actually have bathtubs. You take more showers. You can have like a sour satchel of herbs and crystals and pour the black walnut over you and things like that. But you want to make sure you rinse it off. Even if you're in the bath, you want that energy to go and flow, okay? Yeah, there's lots of ways, and they're actually cord cutting ceremonies. So feel free to reach out to someone that you trust for those sort of ceremonies, or trust in your own inner high priestess to do the those beautiful rituals and ceremonies for yourself. You have all the knowledge, and that's part of the strength card, is knowing that you don't always have to have someone interpret the energies for you. You're wise enough to get counsel. You're wise enough to this is the Three of Cups instead of the Three of Pentacles. But if you're able to celebrate with people, why aren't you able to build with them? You know, different people have their place in our lives, but if you find that the only thing that someone is good for is just drinking with you and partying with you on the good times, but then when things get rough, they're gone, how is that bringing value to your life overall? Okay, so just keep that in mind. We have Brother in Darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Okay, and we have Set there, which represents the underworld, which represents, oh, there was a card I didn't have in here. Oh, from the last reading, I had the Miracle of Isis card saved as a bookmark in here. And I didn't realize I didn't put it back in the deck. So keep in mind, this energy is still here. This energy is still here. You're still in your season of miracles as you continue to move toward that Eight of Pentacles, and that's your duty, to continue to stay with your schedule, to stay with your routines, to keep your faith, to read inspiring books and listen to uplifting music, to keep your spirits high, because you're in the energy of abundance right now. Literally, Jupiter is ruling the cosmos right now. So I'm going to read from the book, The Brother in Darkness. So just give me a sec to find it. I'm just going to pause it so y'all don't have to just like sit here and wait for me to go to this. So hang tight. Okay, I found it. So The Brother in Darkness, overcoming negative energy with feminine power. Whenever negative energy is present, it is a sign that we are ready to move more deeply into our feminine divine power. The Brother in Darkness indicates that there is negative energy either within you or outside of you, but directed towards you, that is providing you with a spiritual test. Beloved initiate, you shall overcome this energy with grace and triumph. Stay in your heart. There's no need to be afraid. It's really giving me, like they said, conflict energy, negative energy. All right, black tourmaline would be wonderful to help you with that, as well as tiger's eye is very protective, and some obsidian. And some of y'all could even use some black salt. There is a test that you are currently moving through because you are ready to progress more deeply into wisdom, light, acceptance, and inner peace. The test is in the guise of a negative energy source, either within you or apparently outside of you. In truth, we are all one, and the world is our mirror for whatever healing task lies within. Even though sometimes the source of difficulty appears to be external, rather than an opportunity for us to gain mastery with our own responses through inner healing. So you may be, like I said, with this external conflict, it's like you may feel challenged, whatever your situation is, you may feel challenged when someone isn't respecting your boundaries, but that's a test to you to see if you're going to reinforce those boundaries, to see if you're going to back down or feel bad for your growth or feel bad for how far you've come. And so many examples can be given, but this is just really reiterating, whenever you are seeing someone, it is a mirror of yourself, and that's what we've been speaking on these past few weeks. Pardon me. So just keep that in mind. And whenever you, this is something that often works for me, whenever I start to feel negative energy, or I start to feel a negative thought forming about someone in my presence, I immediately take a breath and ask myself, what am I supposed to learn in this situation? What do you want me to know, Spirit, about this situation? And almost immediately that energy subsides, and then you get clarity on what you're supposed to know. And if it's not the clarity in the moment, you have that inner peace because you were willing to ask the question and not just go off of a reactive energy. That's what makes you the empress or the emperor. That's what that inner high priestess knows, that it takes time, it takes temperance to see all parts of a story sometimes. So guidance comes to you in this oracle now to become more conscious of the negative energies either within or directed towards you without being fearful. There's no need for fear. There is just need for more conscious, loving response. In the story of Isis, the destructive emotions of her dark brother, Set, led to the murder of her beloved Osiris. He did not stop there. He also attempted to destroy her beloved divine son-child and deny him his rightful rulership. Set teaches us that destructive emotions can gain awful power if we leave them unchecked and do not consciously respond to them. Isis teaches us that love, faith, persistence, courage, intelligent, and honest awareness can overcome even the darkest power, which is why the divine wanted me to bring attention to this card, even though it was consciously unintentional, but there was a bigger plan, because now we're here with Isis and Osiris, the one that Set tries to destroy. But with that feminine power, what did it say, overcoming negative energy with feminine power, with the feminine power of Isis, she was able to put back all of the parts of Osiris back together, heal that divine masculine, and now they have the divine union. So your guidance is to rise above fear, anger, jealousy, or hatred within you or directed towards you now. This will require your feminine strength to be fiercely compassionate and not to judge or resist out of fear. Compassion is great strength. It sees the truth in all situations and does not pander to lies or deception in order to paint everything as nice. We spoke about that in the weekend. Like, all this love and light energy, too much unchecked, can become unbalanced. And it can become toxic when you don't say, okay, love and light is great, but love is also correction. Everything is not fine right now, and this is why it's not fine. You know, this is not okay for me. And it's just being honest. And having compassion is taking that energy that you've been through, the wisdom and the challenges that you've been through, knowing that any situation you could have been in. And that's where that compassion comes in. You don't make excuse for people's behavior, but, you know, you understand. And it's like not pitying someone, but the compassion in you just won't allow you to hold on to bitterness and anger. Yes, you may not want to interact with them anymore. Yes, they may not be welcome in your life, but your compassion releases that bitterness that you would maybe usually hold on to. So let's see where we are. Okay. In order to paint everything as nice. Compassion is wisdom. It knows that a wolf can cause harm even if it is dressed as a sheep, right? It knows that a wolf can cause harm even if it is dressed as a sheep. You're guided to be attentive and honest about negative influences within or directed towards you without judging them or their source or paying undue attention with fear. You simply need recognition and then to respond with compassion and clear, loving, firm boundaries. This boundary will very often be an internal shift energetically for you. It may not require any further action than this. Listen to your heart and trust in your guidance. You are guided, however, to respond now and check the growth of any negativity before it becomes more consuming than it needs to be. This is so lit, because just personally, I've like really been transitioning through these energies, and to read this is just so much confirmation, you know. And we just spoke about the example of how when you interact with someone, you can ask yourself, what am I supposed to learn from this situation? What do I need to know? And they're just saying sometimes that's all you need to do. Just that acknowledgement is more than enough. Or just to acknowledge, hey, this isn't working for me. What is the best way for me to leave this situation? What is the best way for me to exit this partnership or to exit this relationship? Or does something need to be called out on my behalf? Is this energy of being aware and not just trying to sugarcoat everything as love and light or as we're all one? Because some things need to be addressed so that you can cut it off so it doesn't fester. This oracle also comes as a spiritual revelation. Part of your spiritual path is to honor the darkness as a way through to greater consciousness, to not fight against darker and potentially destructive emotions with force, but to allow them to be with compassion, instantly removes the resistance that creates psychic glue and causes darker energies to get stuck within us. I want to read that again. To not fight against darker and potentially destructive emotions with force, but to allow them to be with compassion, instantly removes the resistance that creates psychic glue and causes darker energies to get stuck within us. I sort of saw someone like moving, like getting stuck in quicksand and like trying to just like ferociously get out, and it makes you sink faster. From what I can remember about quicksand, right? You sink faster the more you try to fight against it, but if you're still, there's a chance for someone to help pull you out of it. So I'm really feeling like what the book is also saying is just like the more you allow peace and ease and temperance during this time to be your guiding light, you'll find easier ways to navigate these challenging interactions that you may be coming up against within yourself as well. Like, let's start there first. So trust your feminine values, whether man or woman, and don't believe for one moment that you are obligated to wear another's negativity for them. You are not. And that's literally an exclamation point in this book right there. You are not. You know, it is not your job to help heal someone. It is not your job to carry the burden, 10 of Wands, that came out of someone else's trauma and someone else's issues. Like, that is their journey for them to heal on their own. Your part in that is to show compassion, and first, compassion to yourself is to not get involved, or once you realize it, to remove yourself, because you've done the healing work on yourself that no one else could do for you. And it's the same for another person. So you may stand true in your purity of heart and be safe. If you do not have negative energy rising within you, the same stands true. Have compassion and witness it, but don't believe that you have to identify with it. It is not you. It is just energy and feeling. Let it flow and it shall go. The ritual healing. Okay, so they have different rituals and healing in this book. This is the Isis Oracle deck. If you're interested, sorry, my eye is itchy. This is the Isis Oracle deck. So they have different rituals after each card. So as you go through your journey, feel free to check this out if it could be of help. But it's a beautiful way to end this reading, because it confirms so much. It's like what we spoke about earlier in the reading. Some people feel guilty because it's like, oh, they identify with the person's struggle because that's something that they've either done before, something they've lived, something they understand. So you mix compassion in with empathy, and you allow yourself to be a bit codependent and stay, because you still feel a twinge of shame for what you've gone through. You haven't really acknowledged that you've grown out of that, and it's okay to say, yeah, I used to do da-da-da-da too, but it wasn't healthy for me when I was doing it. It wasn't beneficial to me when I was doing it. So now I speak out against that sort of behavior, against that sort of treatment and way of living, but I don't condemn anyone. I don't judge anyone. I just don't allow it into my sphere and allow it into my energy, and I no longer have that cord with that. So that could also be cutting those cords and ties as well, internal cleanse as well. So some of the collective may be fasting at this time. Just personally speaking, I was guided to start a fast almost a week ago. So now I am wrapping up that fast. So just fast on what the divine tells you to. Like, when you get that inclination, like, hey, maybe I should stop doing this for a while, or maybe I need to take a little more time here. Like, that's your inner high priestess. Your high priestess doesn't need to yell at you or force you to do anything. That's complete opposite of what works in the long run. So listen to those gentle whispers within, and you'll begin to hear the whispers externally before you experience tower moments, because you're able to hear your inner being, so to speak, give you nudges and give you hints on what's to come. So you don't always have to wait for it to physically manifest to make a change. And that's how that cycle goes. Okay, so thank y'all so much for allowing me to read for you. If you were able to gain something from this reading, if it was helpful to you in any way, like the video, subscribe to the channel, to see when we put out more videos. If you would like to book a personal reading that's tailored to your specific situation, tap in below www.TotalUnderstandingTarot.com. That's all in the description box. Also, follow us over on Instagram at Pharaohs Rise. We call it the Daily Vibes over there. We do daily tarot readings. It's been a little minute since we hopped over there on live for y'all, but we're gearing back up into this energy. As y'all know, so I've been letting y'all in on what's kind of been happening, how I've been taking breaks and things of that nature. But I'm feeling very, very good within myself now. Just really starting to surf these waves, you know, just not wiping out as much as I used to. And so that's showing a lot of growth. That's showing a lot of patience and building that energetic stamina so that I can continuously be consistent and show up for y'all. Okay. Yeah, that's a whole other story. I can go on and on about that. But yeah, I'll just leave that right there. So yeah, grab the stones that I suggested in the reading. Try some of the spiritual remedies to help you, and also get out in nature as much as you can to help ground yourself and listen to the gentle whispers of spirit. Okay, so much love and light to you all. Namaste.